The Lord of the Rings movie franchise took the world by storm in the early 2000s. And of course, with the popularity of the films came games, and not just in English-speaking territories. Now, like many other movie licensed games, Japan got fully localized versions of games as well, including the first EA-published Rings title, The Two Towers. Now, while we covered the Japanese GameCube version of the game in past videos, today we're going to focus on something that is Japan exclusive, but didn't hit the GameCube. This item was actually exclusive to the PlayStation 2. And this is the Lord of the Rings The Two Towers Collector's Box. Danny from the Famicast here. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Today, we're taking a look at the Two Towers Collector's Box for the PlayStation 2, aka peak nerd stuff. And here we're going to be taking a look what's included in the box, as well as taking a look at some of the differences between the GameCube and PS2 versions of the game in this edition of Famicast Collector's Corner. Now, before we dive deep into the collector's box, I thought it'd be a good idea to dig in to check out some of the differences between the PS2 and GameCube versions of The Two Towers. Now, of course, both games by and large are the same. All the levels, unlockable videos, art galleries, and the special characters, stuff like that, these are all in both versions of the game. So rest assured, if you pick up either version, there's really no difference in terms of content. Now, one of the biggest differences here has to do with language options when you're talking about the Japanese version. So if you picked up the North American version of the game or speak only English, you probably don't know or care about having game dialogue being in other languages. Well, for the Japanese release, a full Japanese dub track for all of the dialogue is included. Now, not only that, but gamers wanting a more true to movie experience, English voice is available as well, only on the PlayStation 2 version of the game. And you can toggle between the two language options here in that version, but not in the GameCube version. The option just simply isn't there. And you can kind of see even with the footage here, just looking at the different screens of the options that, yeah, it's definitely not there on the GameCube version. Now, why is that? Well, it's simply a matter of capacity. Now, the GameCube optical disc, that small disc that the GameCube uses, was capable of holding up to 1.46 gigabytes of data, while standard PlayStation 2 discs held up to 4.7 gigabytes of data. Now, not only that, but a dual layer option was also available, upping the capacity to 8.5 gigabytes. Now, believe it or not, the Japanese version of The Two Towers is a dual layer disc, which explains all the extra room for additional language options. Now, just as a side note, and according to Everpedia.com, quote, dual layer games can be visually identified by the presence of two barcodes printed on the bottom side of a DVD disc near the center ring instead of the usual one. Dual layer discs are known to possess a slightly golden tint on the disc bottom, in contrast to the silver tint of regular single layer PS2 DVD games. Now, in the video footage here, it might be kind of hard to tell or hard to catch the barcodes, but on the video, you can still see the differences in the color there. While, like I said, you might not be able to see it or make out the barcodes or anything like that, a quick look does kind of confirm what was being said here. Now, there's one other really odd thing I noticed between the versions here as well. Now, when watching some of the behind-the-scenes videos that you can unlock, you'll notice that in the GameCube versions of the video, especially with this one here with Elijah Wood, the controller that the actors or developers are holding are completely blacked out in this video. Now, if you check out the same video on the PS2 version, you can clearly see a DualShock 2 being used by Elijah Wood. Now, while that does seem kind of strange, a little bit weird, we have to remember that in this case, and in the case of many games at the time, the PS2 was the target platform for The Two Towers and many other games. Now, the GameCube and Xbox versions came out months after the PlayStation 2 release. Still, when it comes to this video, I found it interesting to see that this was like an extra step that was taken for the GameCube version of the game, assuming in all regions. And, you know, we'll probably never know the real answer as to why this is, but I imagine it has something to do with Nintendo not really wanting to promote a competitor's platform, even if it's something as trivial as this video clip, a PlayStation 2 controller and a video clip. Now, other differences here are a little bit more on the technical side, which I kind of covered in my Two Towers review for the GameCube. You can check that out in the description box below. But things like the quality of the video clips, the overall graphics do kind of differ between the versions, with the PlayStation 2 winning out on the video side of things due to these higher capacity discs, and the GameCube kind of winning out on the graphics department. Now kind of changing gears for a little bit, and just to kind of move on to the collector's box itself. So this was available day and date with the release of the Two Towers in Japan in February of 2003, originally retailing for 9,800 yen, which at the time was about 120 US dollars, compared to the 6,800 yen price point of the base game. Now, on a random side note, the actual product page for the collector's box is still up on the PlayStation website, and it basically outlines everything that comes with it and offers a few screenshots of the game here too. Now, the first thing to note about the box itself is its size. Now, with a quick look, you might just think this is like a simple cardboard sleeve that goes over the game case itself, but that is definitely not the case here. The package is significantly larger than the actual game case and contains a few collectibles for Lord of the Rings fans. Now, the set comes with this Lord of the Rings branded strap. Now, if you're not living in Japan or you don't have any knowledge of this, straps were, and kind of still are by some, usually attached to phones and shouldn't be confused with what's called here as key holders, which are obviously for keys, kind of like a keychain. But this is a little bit different. So this strap, this base strap comes with several plates that can be attached to it. And these plates featured here are from characters' weapons or from other items from the movie. Now, there are ones based on Gimli's axe, Aragorn's sword, Legolas's elven bow, the elven brooch that everyone on the Fellowship receives, and there's one for the One Ring here as well. I guess the idea here is that, you attach this to your phone, you can kind of switch these out, to kind of be cool, or, well, I don't know if this would be cool, but I think it's cool, but maybe people back in the day, who knows what they would have thought. But anyways, that's how this would have been used in a practical sense. Now, next up here is the Lord of the Rings themed techo, or small address book. So even in the age of smart devices, there are still plenty of people who use these across Japan. Now, obviously, they would have been used even more by people back in 2003. So here, there's a space for taking notes, writing contact information, and even like a little bit of a calendar here too. Now, the address book has also this map of Middle-earth, as well as this Lord of the Rings logo on the front and back. So from here, let's just go ahead and take a closer look at some of these items that are available here in the collector's box, as well as some shots of some of the two variants of the Two Towers release on the PlayStation 2 here, the standard and EA Best Hits, and taking a look at some of the differences between some of the discs. Now, I have no idea why, probably cost-cutting measures, but you can see like which seems like a bit of a cheaper disc and which seems kind of like a more high-end. But at any rate, let's just go ahead and take a look. While my favorite platform, the GameCube, did not receive this cool set, I'm pretty happy to see that something like this actually exists. While it might be a bit pricey for those of you out there on the hunt, this thing currently seems to be anywhere from around like 50 to 100 US dollars, and it's really not available on eBay, at least not readily available. So anyway, I think it's a cool collectible for gamers and Lord of the Rings fans. But let's turn things over to you guys. What do you think? Did gamers in the West miss out on a cool set? Do you think EA could have done more here? Be sure to sign off in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you see, feel free to drop us a like. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. We've got tons of podcasts, video reviews, collectors videos like this, and a whole lot more. Again, this is Danny from the Famicast. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.